Hello, and welcome to the lecture on Chapter 10, Opinion Essays. First part, we'll be covering the first 10 pages of Chapter 10 in this lecture. Here are some objectives we're going to be talking about. I'm going to skip through these. What is an opinion? Let's think about this. I'm going to throw this out to you. What is an example of an opinion that you hold? Be about anything. Starbucks has the best tea in America. Chuy's makes the best Tex-Mex. A couple opinions I have. Donald Trump is a traitor of a president. Another one. So you have some opinions. So after stating that opinion, what support can you offer to back up that opinion? Well, probably for the restaurant, for Starbucks, you can probably just talk. It's kind of hard, but you can say, well, they use the best ingredients. For Chuy's, we could talk about maybe the ingredients they use, the recipes, being Tex-Mex. For Donald Trump being a traitor, we could talk about the cases with the Russians, with the bounty on the troops, maybe the meddling of Russia in the election and how Trump has hidden that. And we can go offer evidence for that. In the U.S. system, this is a big difference between what I saw when I was teaching in Asia and here in the United States. And maybe those of you who have come from other systems are not used to this. We have a high value placed on abilities for students to think for themselves, give opinions. You don't have to agree. I mean, as a teacher, I don't have to agree with you, but if you express it, that's what I want to hear. We even disagree. When I was teaching a government class out in West Texas a long time ago, I told students, I said, you may disagree with me completely, think I'm nuts on a topic, and if you write an essay that says I'm full of it and you support it, I'm going to give you an A, even though I think your opinions are bonkers. As long as you have evidence, cite evidence. And we can read the essay on page 233 and 234, and it talks about homeschooling, which is kind of something we're kind of dealing with right now, as we are probably going to be heading into a plan B. And you see what it says here. Although it may not be the best option for all students, I am in favor of homeschooling for these three reasons. So that thesis statement gives you what me as a reader is going to expect. I'm going to expect 3 body paragraphs. Now, for your assignment, I'm only expecting 2 body paragraphs. But if you do 3, hey, that's great. Notice that the fact that there are 3 body paragraphs begins with a transition signal. We talk about this in our textbook. First of all, the second reason that homeschooling is a good idea is that yada, yada, yada. And then finally, transition words. We've been talking about these signal words throughout the last few chapters. And notice in body paragraph 3, the controlling idea of the topic sentence is restated as the concluding sentence. Finally, homeschooling helps young people develop socially. As a result of the education parents give him, my friend is now a well-balanced individual who knows how to be an adult and still have fun. The concluding paragraph summarizes the 3 reasons, and we can look at them here in bold. For the most part, homeschooled parents can complete their basic lessons in less time than students in a formal classroom because they learn how to ask questions and find answers, and because they develop strong social skills. Those are ideas that we're going to be in that example's body paragraphs. So what's an opinion essay? This is what we've been working on. We talked about last week in writing essays and what you're going to be doing this week. In an opinion essay, you're going to do 3 things. You're going to state your opinion. Donald Trump is a traitor in your thesis statement. You're going to support your opinion with those reasons. Not responding to Russia putting bounties on troops. I can think of a couple others. And support those reasons. The Mueller report, the impeachment. I don't really, those are just examples off the top of my head. Introductory paragraph. It has 2 parts. Several general statements and a thesis statement. It kind of works in a reverse triangle. We start broad and then we get narrow. This is kind of like, with a topic sentence. Our main thing in a paragraph topic sentence is going to, this bottom thing in black. In a paragraph, we normally going to put this at the top. But in an introductory paragraph, we're going big and then we're going small, going down. You see what I talk about here. In the opinion essay, the first part of the introductory paragraph often begins by explaining an issue. The thesis statement presents the writer's opinion. That's what would be down here in black. Read through the following example of an introductory paragraph about how to control teen gangs through using curfews. It's a nice sign. As you read, notice the thesis statement mentions the opposing view before the writer's view. The opposing view is connected to the writer's view with the contrast signal but. Other contrast signals which you remember are however and although. It's always good in an opinion essay to mention what the other side's point is. For Donald Trump being a traitor, you could say, well, he's been stood up to Russia, stood up to China. He has not sold out America. And you mention that, but it always is good to show you that you understand the other side of the opinion. And I'm going to just let you read over this. But you notice here in the bottom, police departments say that curfew laws to control gangs are necessary. But I feel, hey, going to go counter this, that such laws are unfair, unconstitutional, and counterproductive. Before you write your thesis statement for an opinion, examine the issue. Say, look at both sides. In order to write an effective essay, you need to understand the opposing view. I just talked about that. Look at both sides. I know I try to read some of the other side of issues. I personally read, I'm a big reader of the New York Times. Sometimes I'll look at the Wall Street Journal. They tend to be a little more conservative in their views in terms of local issues that I'm interested in, especially in my old home state of Texas. The Dallas Morning News tends to be a very conservative newspaper. I tend to look at that for another opinion. In the body paragraphs, you will support your opinions with reasons. You're going to pick one main reason for each body paragraph. You don't have to cover everything in one paragraph. So you develop each reason into a separate paragraph in the finished essay. I just said that. In the controlling gangs example, the body paragraphs should develop reasons for the thesis statement. We have our thesis statement here. Laws are unfair, unconstitutional, counterproductive. I bet you we're going to talk about in the body paragraphs, one body paragraph talking about unfair, one talking about unconstitutional, and one talking about counterproductive. Hey, duh, I just said this. Yeah, you see, each one of these, reason A, reason B, reason C, it's going to be your own paragraph. What you used to do was you would have reason A, reason B, and reason C in one paragraph and maybe just give a sentence of support for each one. Now you're expanding the reasoning and giving more detail. The concluding paragraph of an opinion essay does two things. You restate your ideas and summarize your reasons. Now, if you're really arguing a point, if you're doing something maybe recycling should be mandatory, you should say, write your city council member, tell them that we should pass an ordinance that makes recycling in Raleigh mandatory. Or like with Donald Trump, you could say, send an email to your congressman or senator saying that Donald Trump needs to be impeached again. And here's a concluding paragraph. You can read it over on your own. Sorry about the interruption. So to recap, in an opinion essay, you're providing background in the opening paragraph, you're stating your opinion, you're supporting your opinion, and you're concluding your opinion. And that's the end of this one. There'll be part two will be coming up shortly.